Humans, how about that Super Bowl? I tuned in. I stayed tuned in long after the game was clearly out of hand because I really wanted to watch Kendrick Lamar and to see how that halftime show was going to turn out. Well, the TLDR on it is I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was the most highly aesthetic musical performance in terms of the way it was staged, the choreography, the art direction, obviously the musical performance and the songs. I just thought it was a tour de force. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, an absolutely beautiful mistake, a big mistake on the part of the NFL. Let's talk about it. So the Super Bowl has long been the nation's largest party. It is the one day in the year, historically, at least for the last, 30, 40 years, where we all come together around a single event. Over 120 million people in this country alone, I believe, tune in. That's nearly a third of the country. Nothing else has that kind of drawing power. And it's because of all those eyeballs and all of that tradition and drama and spectacle that Super Bowl spots become the most expensive commercial airtime that you can buy during the year. They were well over $1 million, have been for a long time. I have been involved with a couple of Super Bowls, as well as the World Series. I've wrote and sang a Coca-Cola commercial during one World Series here in Atlanta, and I wrote a piece for the Super Bowl organizing committee, I forget how many years ago. So I've been at this dance before. I understand the thinking that goes on when we want to create an experience, a brand experience for the Super Bowl audience. Who is the Super Bowl audience? It's 1/3 of the country. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of different people. The problem with casting Kendrick for this role, in spite of his genius artistry, is that he just does not appeal to a broad swath of the nation. Let's think of this like it's a party, okay? It is a party. So you invite the nation to your house for a big party. All right? You're the host. What food are you going to serve? What music are you going to play? What's the vibe going to be? It's not just black people coming to your party, not just white people, it's everybody coming to the party. Now, what music are you going to play? Do you want everybody to have a good time? Or you just want a small portion of the people to be kind of bopping along and everybody else going, oh, what's that? I don't feel that. Yeah? What kind of food are you going to serve? A pizza that I love lately, I make this, is pepperoni, jalapeno, pineapple, bacon, and cheese with a red sauce. I'm telling you, it's delicious to me. Now, you probably listen to that and you go, what you talking about, Willis? Pineapple with bacon? That's weird shit, man. That's white people shit. Yeah, it is. And that's why I wouldn't put it out at a party where I was going to invite a lot of black folks, because I want my black friends to enjoy the pizza. So I'm going to have flavors that they like. I'm going to have something for my Hispanic friends. Or I'm just going to have something that kind of has a general appeal. I bet if I put a Mexican cuisine out on that table, I'd probably make almost everybody happy, right? Because I know everybody digs that, all right? It's the same way with the music selection. I love Thelonious Monk. I think Thelonious Monk is one of America's greatest musical geniuses. He's avant-garde. I promise you I would not be rocking Thelonious Monk at my party. I know there would be a handful of people who go, wow, Thelonious Monk, I never expected that. Love it. Genius. And everybody else will be going, what the And that reflects back on me as a host. This reflects back on you, NFL, as a host. Based on the reactions that I saw online on my Facebook feed, it was, you either liked it or you didn't like it. And there were a lot of people who were like, what in the hell? They're disappointed. NFL, all corporations need to listen to this, particularly if you have really been waving the DEI flag over the last, 7 or 8 years. You're doing too much. Extra. It's way, way extra. All of this promotion of the DEI agenda had basis in reality, and it still has some basis. The underlying goal has basis. But people are exhausted. Exhausted. And when you are too extra, and when you don't know when to stop, it starts turning back in on itself and becomes a negative rather than a positive. All of you corporations who continue to do all of this, you're killing black people with kindness. Because you are exhausting the general public, and their ears are starting to put their hands over their ears. They don't want to hear it anymore. They don't want to hear what many people consider a legitimate message because you have beaten it over people's head for too long. Take a break. Let me also suggest that this is not the business you are in. NFL, Target, Walmart, all the big retailers that have embraced this over time. Obviously, things are changing now. Stay in your lane, man. You are not in the social engineering business. You are in the retailing business, and your value to consumers as a retailer is to deliver quality products and quality service at prices that your consumers can afford. Now, you get to do that with a certain kind of style, and you can have your own brand. But layering social engineering on top of those fundamental objectives for your business, you're going to pay the price for that if you continue it. And if all of the DEI things, and we've given them a nice run, we gave them nice runway over the last few years. Had they truly, truly been paying off in the way that they were envisioned to, not only expanding people's consciousness, but getting more people into the store, right? That was the goal. Y'all weren't doing this, pimping of all these DEI initiatives just to make people feel good, were you? No. You were doing all of that to get people into the store, to sell more product, okay? And if in fact it was actually selling more product, would you guys be rolling back all these initiatives so quickly? No, because if it wasn't broke, you wouldn't try to fix it. It's broke. It has lost you customers. It has cost you revenue. You are leaving money on the table by participating with this. I think the data is in. We can see this. Now, the NFL has not gotten the memo yet. And NFL, I think you need to look at your cousin over there at the NBA, who has gone even harder with this, especially with Disney's, support and architecting of this social engineering agenda that they clearly have. They are killing black people with kindness, I'm telling you. Go look at ESPN. It is, when I tune into ESPN, very often the entire panel is black. And almost every single discussion has racism and grievance either as an overt part of the conversation or it's subtext to the conversation. And people are exhausted. NBA viewership is in the decline because the NBA went really hard with all this. Why does this happen? I'll tell you why this is happening and why sports is not in sports in particular, and entertainment I'll give a little bit more of a pass, because entertainment, music has often been the vehicle for revolution. So historically it's got a bit more standing. But in terms of sports, let's say, understand this about human nature and about nature in general. It is about tension and release. Tension and release. That is a fundamental component of our existence. Up, down, light, dark, tension, release. You pedal, 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 and then you coast. And then you pedal, 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 and then you coast. This is the waveform of existence, okay? Tension, release. For so much of human history, sports has been the release. I work all day, and after my work is done, I want to relax. I want to unburden my mind, and I want to sit back and watch the game and be entertained and leave all my stress behind. It is a refuge. But when you overlay my refuge, my place where I go for release, for relaxation, when you tighten it up by making me anxious, by stirring me up in my emotions to think about all of these social issues, you're spoiling the experience for me. And NFL, you are damaging your brand when you spoil that experience, because you are depriving me of one of the essential values that you had as a brand, as a product that entertains by letting me relax and unwind. And when I see a great athlete make a beautiful catch and run into the end zone, I want it to be an undiluted celebration of that moment of joy and realization, right? I'm vicariously, me as a fan, I'm vicariously living through this exuberation, this celebration. Yay, we won, we did it, yay. And then I have to look at end racism in that end zone. I know it wasn't there on the Super Bowl, but it's been there for years now. And that becomes part of that experience. I had this high, elevated peak experience of celebration, and then you stick this end racism layer on it, and it harshes my vibe, man. I go out and I fight that battle at other times. I don't want to fight that battle during my relaxation time. You've gotten it twisted. Stop. So what would have been better? Well, I think the most memorable concerts, halftime concert performances, have been done by people whose influence and appeal has very broad reach across the country and across lots and lots of people. They sing songs that people can sing along with. And there's something very powerful about the shared experience that we have on this day, that when Michael Jackson got on stage and started singing, "We are the," what's the word what were the lyrics that followed? When Bruce Springsteen got on stage and sang, "Born in the," when Madonna got on stage and sang, "We are living in a material world and I am a," what? Yeah? When Prince sang "Purple," you see what I'm saying? When U2 got on stage and sang their songs, people could sing along. Even if you weren't a fan of any of these artists, if you were a black person in Compton and Bruce Springsteen is rocking out on stage singing "Born in the," you're going to say USA, because he may not be your favorite artist, but you at least had heard of it. It was in the zeitgeist of our culture. But no one can sing along with Kendrick's songs. He's not that kind of artist. He was an artist that was selected for a very, very specific kind of audience member, to the exclusion of a much, much larger audience who were left scratching their heads going, "They're not like us. And they aren't interested in being like us and talking to us and sharing this experience with us." They were shut out of the biggest party, of the biggest celebration moment, of the biggest party of the year. NFL, let everyone into your tent. Hire talent that speaks to the country, where we can create a collective experience that we can all share. It's probably not going to be as high art as Kendrick. It's probably going to be much more generic and much more formulaic. But guess what? That's kind of what we want. That's what the American people kind of like. And as a brand, part of your job is to turn them on with positive experience, and to turn the nation on. Your opportunity was to turn the nation on with this shared positive experience. Now, let me repeat it again. I loved the performance. I just think it was the wrong time for that performance, the wrong stage, platform for that performance. He's an absolute genius who does not speak to a really broad swath of our population. And the people who are on the halftime stage need to reach and have appeal to the most people that we can do. Here's another example. I think Kendrick is very much like Basquiat. There's a certain kind of revolutionary, rough, gritty, urban grittiness to the work that makes it visceral and really sells the lyric of struggle and redemption and pain and all that. I see that same kind of thing in Basquiat's work. It's beautiful. It is museum-worthy art. Just like I think Kendrick's music is museum-worthy. Okay? But I would never hire Basquiat, were he alive, to art direct my national branding campaign for Walmart. It does not fit. It would be so narrowly targeted to appeal to such a very small, specific audience that I would lose the opportunity. The Walmart brand with this Basquiat kind of energy, visual branding, would lose the vast portion of the Walmart audience. Walmart serves 33 million people a day across 19 different countries, I believe. They are in the business of making money. And this kind of highly distinctive, narrowly focused kind of creative and branding is not the way to maximize your brand's effectiveness across your broadest audience. And that, from a branding professional, is the bottom line. You had a huge opportunity, NFL, and I think you fumbled the bag, even though you did it beautifully. Peace.